You have an existing business and you want to get a business grant, or you want to start a new business. How do you get it? Under the $1,400 third stimulus check package, there's a series of business grants that are absolutely incredible. Meantime, under the second stimulus package that already is law, there's a series of other grants and loans that have been on the books for a while, and you can get those as well. Not 5 days from now and not 5 weeks from now, right now. It's business lunch, and in this recording, I show you all the big money you can get if you're Grubhub, Airbnb, sole practitioner, electrician, or San Francisco hairstylist. This is Business Lunch, and this is Noontime Lalate.
Santa Monica. This is the Midday Report on LA Late.
And good afternoon. How are you? It's Business Lunch, in which we go over the big money that's available for you if you're a business owner. And a business owner can be just a single mom that drives a car for Uber, or Postmates driver out of college. So long as you have that Schedule C. Don't know what a Schedule C is? Go to irs.gov and learn about it and go get some business grants. But first, hit that subscribe button. This channel's on fire. I don't want you to miss a single show or a single day of this channel. There's so much happening across the board. I don't want you to miss anything because it's tens of thousands of dollars that I'm showing you across the board that comes live and then goes away, that opens and then shuts. And in this recording, you see especially how one program will open for $5,000 for you and will shut right behind your back. You want to be in the door before it's closed because there's going to be a stimulus stampede. Hit that subscribe button right now and become part of this incredible, fastest growing community with 9 months, 100 million views. Third stimulus package, the $1,400 third stimulus package, passed the Senate on Saturday and will pass the House on Tuesday. It'll become law on Tuesday, and the checks, your stimulus check, will go out later this week. Now, when we turn to the business grants, they don't go out automatically. You have to apply for them. Thank you, Michelle, for becoming a Purple Hawk. If you've not become a member like Michelle. The member link is in the top of the chat and also in the description. You get PDFs of the business grants, which, as a member, you have already had for the last 2 weeks. The business grants are application-based. They're not automatic. And what are they? Let's get to them right now. First, there's a business grant available under what's called the Targeted EIDL Advance. Thank you, 2020, for the dancing cat. The Targeted EIDL Advance is a grant, and you'll see it at sba.gov now. It's not live this day. It's not live tomorrow. It's not live today. When is it live? Stay with me in a second. The bill provides, which is becoming law on Tuesday, the law provides that within 14 days of the bill being enacted, which is tomorrow, within 14 days, SBA must open an EIDL grant application process. I'll say that again. Within 14 days of tomorrow, within 2 weeks after tomorrow, they have to open the program. And then they have to close it, the law says, within 14 days thereafter. Thank you, Trina, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Now, what makes this super confusing? Thank you, Tracy, for becoming a Purple Power. What makes this very, very confusing is that there's going to be 2 different EIDL grants that will open. Yes, the first one will be for people who applied under the second stimulus EIDL grant and never got paid. They will be allowed to apply for unpaid money. And then there will be the second EIDL grant. When will that open? And what is it? That will open within 28 days of tomorrow. So it's a little bit wider of a window. And it closes within 14 days of when it opens. Now, what I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to look right at the camera, is that is the following. Ignore when it closes. Rather, focus only on the date that it opens. Because the moment it opens, expect, based upon my ability to get viewers $25 million in EIDL in spring of last year. No one has gotten anyone more money on EIDL than me and this channel. Expect the day it goes open that it runs out of money in 3 days. Just expect that. Because there's literally 9 gazillion people who can qualify for the second EIDL grant. If you have a Schedule C and you drove Uber or Lyft and you made $2,000 last year, and that $2,000 was less than how much you made the year before by 30% or more, you're going to get a $5,000 EIDL grant. You're going to go right on that website and get it. And so is your neighbor and the person down the street and the other person. Everyone's going to go get that EIDL grant because it's exactly $5,000. Stimulus stampede. What do you need to know? You need to know that it will be at sba.gov, and when it opens, you have to absolutely apply the very first minute it opens, because you need to presume that it's going to run out of money within 3 days. Now, I'm going to make this even clearer. I just know how this works because it happened in July last year. I just know that someone who's not a subscriber to this channel is going to come into the comments when I'm live, maybe 10 days after the EIDL grant opens, and say, I just applied for the EIDL grant. It says it's still open, but when I applied, it said there was no money. What does that mean? It's going to mean you didn't subscribe and you should have gotten the money. You should apply for the money the first day it opened. Well, will I get the money? No. Will I ever get the money? No. Bottom line is, hit that subscribe button, understand how everything works, and be ready to apply the very first day it opens. And I will tell you the very first day it opens. All right, next, there is money for restaurants. Before I get to the money for the restaurants, this is where the realm of confusion starts in the third stimulus package. The President of the United States, in the last few days, said that the third stimulus package has an innovation grant to go start a new business. Yes, a grant to go start a new business. I don't see it in there. None of the reports that explain what's in the bill say it's in there. I don't see it's in there. The viewers of this channel don't see it's in there. I have to reread the bill again. If you see it in the bill, tell me. I don't see it in there, so I don't know what the president's referring to. Is there a grant to start a new business in the third stimulus package? The president says there is. I don't see it in there. But as a member of this channel, you want to go to the back of the bill where it talks about EIDL grant. You could search for the word EIDL, EIDL. And it's the whole business grant section is only about 10 pages long. You can see if it's in there. I don't see it's in there. All right, let's go to the restaurants. The restaurant grant, we now know how it works, who can get it, and how you apply. One, it'll be at sba.gov. They will do the grant. Number two, we know how much it will be paying you. It will be paying you based upon the following calculation. 2020 gross revenue subtracted from 2019 gross revenue. That's how much your grant will be. You can get grants for up to 20 locations, and you can get up to $5 million per location. The grants will be open for 21 days, but when it opens, it prioritizes applicants who are women, veterans, or socially economic impaired individuals. The grants will cover payroll costs, principal and interest payments on mortgages, rent, utilities, maintenance, protective equipment, food and beverage, covers suppliers' costs and operational costs. Basically, everything. Basically, everything. Now, one of the provisions of the business grant that does not make sense is that it says that your location cannot have more than $500,000 of gross revenue. Well, that makes no sense, because if you're giving a $5 million loan, how do you get a $5 million loan if there's no more than 500,000 gross revenue at that location? Again, maybe this will be clarified by SBA. Then, there's also a pilot program called the Navigator program that, under the third stimulus package, that'll help you find other business grants across the country. All right, now let's turn to business grants and loans that are available right now. They're under second stimulus and first stimulus. First, under the first stimulus, if you never got the remainder of your $10,000 EIDL grant, you are allowed to apply for these new EIDL grants. There's nothing in the law that says you cannot reapply for a new grant. Number two, if you never got the remainder of your $10,000 EIDL grant, SBA is now paying it out based upon the zip code of your business and whether you're in a low-income based community first and then everyone else. They're very slow on paying it out. My suggestion, assume it's never coming, because it just baffles any logic. No one can explain the situation. It's incomprehensible. Now let's cut to second stimulus. If you need a grant right now, under Trump's stimulus, there is grants and loans right now. The first one is a PPP. You get a PPP from your big bank or from online banks like Fundera or Cabbage. During one of the commercial breaks, someone sent me a DM and said, I got denied for a PPP from a certain type of online thin bank. I said, big deal. Apply with another one. Why would you tell me you got denied? Well, guess what? One can deny you, another one can approve you. Why would you deliver me bad news for that? It's sort of like people who go looking for rent and can't find it at the city and don't look at the state. I get denied for rent. I couldn't find rent in the city. What, did you look at the state? No, I just sort of stopped. No. PPP. You can contact as many PPP underwriters as you want. What I like about it is, one, no collateral. Number two, no credit score. Number three, it's dummy proof. They give you the forms, you fill them out. If you don't fill them out right, they help you. It's easy. Number four, it starts as a loan, it turns into a grant. They show you how it turns into a grant. They do it with you. It can't be any more hand-holding than it is. Finally, I love the EIDL loan, which is available right now. Why do I like it? One, it pays out really quickly. If you're a simple application with a credit score of 570 or higher, Experian Vantage 3.0, then go to sba.gov, apply for it. You can get approved within 48 hours and funded within 48 hours. And you can leave the money in the bank and look at it, and in a year, 11 months, say, I don't need it. It was just sort of a safety blanket, an extra nest egg in case I needed it. Return it, no principal, no interest, no repayment penalties. It's absolutely wonderful. Who's in the room? Let me see. There's Dan W. There's Crayola. There is Tiffany. Will you qualify if your business started in 2020? The PPP, I believe they do. The PPP have a cutoff date in 2020. It depends on the month of 2020. Great question. John, how are you, John? There's Mary and there's Tiffany. Howdy from Columbus, says Martha. There's Tammy. There is Crayola, and there's Gail. And there's Leanne. And there is Mike with an incorrect comment. IRS does not take your stimulus check if you owe back taxes. That's actually incorrect, Mike. And there is your $14 third stimulus check will go out later this week. But business grants, you'll have to apply for. There's a series of business grants in the third stimulus package. The first one is a targeted EIDL advance, which is for the unpaid EIDL advance is of second stimulus, very peculiar. Then there's a new EIDL grant of $5,000 if you have less than 10 employees and had a reduction of your income because of the pandemic by about 30% or more. That's where the stimulus stampede is going to happen because everyone likely would qualify for that if you're a Schedule C operator. Under third stimulus, you can get a PPP right now, and you can also get an EIDL loan. Finally, restaurant grants are in the third stimulus package, along with closed venue grants, and finally, a navigator program to help you find grants across the country. And guess what? We're at the top of the hour with more news breaking as Wall Street's about to close. Wall Street has been euphoric about the stimulus news from Congress. I'll have all the breaking details. Join me as we go into the second hour of Noontime LA. Coming up in 60 seconds, join me in that feed as Noontime LA kicks it off in the next show.